It's the final weekend of home volleyball in 2024 for App State. As the Mountaineers, 8-2 in the Sun Belt, they have eyes on the top spot in the Sun Belt with work to be done as they host Marshall, the Thundering Herd, on this Friday night. Let's dive in a little bit more now and check out the Sun Belt volleyball standings here on this 8th night, soon-to-be night, almost the night of November 2024. There's App State in the East, Morgan, 8-2. Georgia Southern's right there putting some pressure on the Mountaineers. Georgia State on the other side. These two teams make a lot of the difference for App State. South Alabama and Arkansas State. App State can only handle what they can control. Control your controllables, as coaches like to say. But South Alabama and Arkansas State can play a factor with whether or not App State wins the overall Sun Belt regular season title. And you see Marshall, cellar dwellers in the East at 4-8. They could kind of ruin everything that we're talking about.
Certainly, and especially, you know, like you said, you control the controllables, and you can't really do anything about the west side of the conference, but what App State can do is kind of go into each game, really focus, have their keys in order to win.
And let's check out the bracket in the Sun Belt. And it's, again, if it started today, when we say these things in late October, it means one thing. Now that we're into early November, it's different. You see it right there. If things started today, of course, that's not the case. There's games today, tomorrow, next Friday and Saturday in the Sun Belt as well. But you see it, Troy and James Madison, Georgia State and Southern Miss would be in the first round. Of course, App State would have that bye. South Alabama would, Texas State, Georgia Southern, of course, as well. So you kind of get a look at the teams that already know we don't really have to sweat the first round. What does this mean? Well, again, you see the bubble teams, ODU, University of Louisiana. There's still plenty out there. Bella Thompson will light the match on this one on this Friday, 5 minutes past 6 o'clock. It's already been a busy week here in Boone with basketball underway now too. The serve, and we're off. The setup, Maya Winterhoff with kill number 1 tonight, and App State cracks the scoring first.
And just not surprised that the first person, well, technically the second person set on this App State team is Maya Winterhoff.
Yeah.
Just such a force on the court and getting the first kill of the night.
That's her. We talked about 2 players from Marshall having 200+ kills on the season. App State has the same thing. That was kill 244 for Winterhoff moments ago. Greer, part of this. There's the kill for Lulu Ambrose, who will be one of 3 celebrated tomorrow. Ambrose gets in for a kill. That is her 220th kill of the season.
And just such a great kill by Ambrose, really finding the back half of the court. When you're an outside hitter, you really want to aim deep in order to get the defense on their toes.
Ambrose a part of that defensively along with Ava Leahy. 3-0 Mountaineers off to a perfect start. There goes the block stat we were talking about earlier. We'll watch that as we go along. First one of the night. Serve from Winterhoff. And comes back to her. The setup, and there's the kill. Elise Marshall, the freshman from the Buckeye State.
And that's something that this Marshall team really has to keep an eye on, is that App State has such a great offensive side. They have so many facets on their offensive line that this Marshall team really has to stay on their toes and play really good defense in order to win.
First kill of the match for Marshall comes from, well, not a big surprise, Audrey Greer, the freshman. Yes, a freshman who records that kill to continue her amazing season so far. She's one of those 2 Marshall players with 200+ kills. Greer gets her 249th kill of 2024 moments ago, 4-1 App State. Greer serves. Up front, a little elevation. Beatrice Ciccarelli to cut the deficit in half.
And that's something, especially early on in this game, you know, you want to be the first team to 5. You want to get that lead as quickly as possible.
series history time now. The 40th all-time meeting for App State and Marshall, a series that began back in 1981. So what was that? A year after The Empire Strikes Back. App State leads the all-time series 26-13. There's Sarah Rumley Noble on the App State sideline, Morgan.
Especially when you're down by 3, now 4.
Lance Greer, one of the top 2 kill players for Marshall this season. Some trouble on the back line trying to return that from Beatrice Ciccarelli. Roper was on the flight after it, but got through 22-20.
And I really like how Ciccarelli really snapped her wrist on the ball in order to get that ball down. The set seemed a little bit behind her, which is really hard for a middle to aim downwards.
Ciccarelli with 2 kills. Ambrose up front. Ciccarelli does it again, back-to-back kills. She's got 3, and that one was, as I say, as simple as it gets, but really it was just expertly executed.
That was a really nice swing by Ciccarelli. She's got a really fast arm swing, which just as the defense on App State, you don't have much time to react to that.
It's a good initial serve. First touch gave a little trouble there for Ambrose. There's Greer. And it's 22-all here in the first set.
Greer, what a nice tool, especially at this point in the game, really being able to get her team back into things. Greer and Ciccarelli, really nicely done.
Yeah, that combo right now. So here we are tied at 22. Audrey Greer. First touch from Roper. Lulu Ambrose. Back to the libero, Schoenhart. It drips down from Leahy. 25-24, Mountaineers get the advantage back.
And even this App State team at home has done a really good job of just staying consistent at the end of sets. Really nicely done by Leahy, just finding a way through that block. It was a tough one for her.
Leahy's got 4 kills. Tapped over and through, and that is Bryn Brown. Brown, who is kind of the do-it-all-for-you player for Marshall.
And Brown, you know, knowing that ball was tight, just really was able to find that open spot in the court, the right front area where, you know, the off blocker usually is, but she was a lot closer looking for the tip.
201 kills coming into tonight, averages about 2%. Talking about Bryn Brown. Brown wearing it was Marshall. Now Lulu Ambrose, that's a kill. Ambrose has 7 of them, and it's set point again. Everyone's kind of up, then they sit down, back up again.
You know, coming to a volleyball game, you got to be prepared to, you know, sit and stand and sit and stand, especially when it's tight like this. They're getting their own little workout in during the game.
Exactly. Ambrose serves. First touch, Greer. Looped over from Fogo. Lifted from Hutchins. Schoenhart. Brown leaves it on Marshall's side. 27-25. If this is confirmed, it now is App State has won set number 1. There was a little initial thought about the ultimate result of Brown's effort, but it is confirmed in 27-25. App State wins set number 1. Set 2 is next, right here on ESPN Plus on this Friday night.
Ever wonder why Kit Kats are so delightfully crispy?
Well, if you haven't heard about it by now, we'll tell you again that it's just been continued improvement ever since Sarah Rumley Noble took over this App State volleyball team. Now in her 3rd season at App State, you see her overall win-loss numbers here in Boone, in her previous stops as well. And of course, you see the first Sun Belt Conference tournament win since 2018. That's after Sarah Rumley Noble arrived here, and she's really exciting, fun to talk to, really friendly personality, Morgan, but also she's up on the video board pre-match. She's sitting in that 2024 Jeep Wrangler that people can go online and win. Literally, she's sitting in it and saying, Boone's a great place to be. Enter to win this car. I mean, she's right there in the she's in the commercial business.
Yeah, she really does a great job, just embracing the Boone community.
Yeah.
I think she talks so highly about everyone up here, and it's really a joy to get to talk to her.
Yeah, she's great. Just look at this team too. 14-7 this season for App State with a win tonight. They beat 15-7, 9-2. Here's a look at the RPI rankings. And there's App State, top 60. Georgia Southern, not really so much of a coincidence in a way, Morgan, that the top two teams in terms of Sun Belt RPI are the top two teams battling for the Sun Belt regular season title. Shout out to Coastal and James Madison and Arkansas State being in the top 100.
Yeah, this Sun Belt conference has just gotten more competitive with each coming year. Is that a good angle to be able to see it?
Okay, back we go. Tapped over, somehow stayed alive on that Stratton effort, kind of helped out by the Mountaineers. Kill try from Ciccarelli. Up front, Heidelman. Swatted back from Hutchins. Hutchins tries again. Worn well by the libero, Schoenhart on Marshall's side. There's the kill. That one will stand. Bella Hutchins. Hutchins has kill number 6.
That was just such a beautiful rally, honestly. Both teams, their defense. I think defense is very, not a lot of people look into how hard it is to be able to read the blocks, see the hitter, and also react to the ball all at the same time. And both sides are really displaying their defensive players very well.
Roper serves, touched over from Greer. Rising up, oh, she's feeling it right now. Bella Hutchins, kill number 7. 7 come 11, 14-4, App State by 10. Winterhoff serve is an ace. (23-7). It's Winterhoff's first service ace of this match. It's her 20th service ace of the season. Brown. Lulu Ambrose, attack error.
And that was a good attack error. It was about less than a foot out. I think that's an error where if I'm Coach Noble, I'm like, keep swinging that, keep trying for that line swing. And she's been successful on it the majority of the night, so I think she should definitely keep utilizing that.
Other side, tapped over from Fogo. Swatted back from Stratton. Now Roper. The setup and the kill, and it's Ava Leahy who has 9 kills.
What a great swing by Leahy. I want to go back and talk about that dive from Caroline Farthing. Wow, that was a really, she saved that ball way early on, but overall just a really nice spot by Leahy. And that set wasn't, it seemed a little off, so she was still able to use that and get a point.
Set point, and App State wins the second set. Marshall with a little assist off the net. Doesn't matter, 25-8, all App State in the second set, and they lead 2-0 over Marshall. That's a thrilling finish, 2 sets in. You can spend less and stream more sports with a special offer from ESPN Plus. You can save $20 and get an annual subscription for the price of 9 months. So scan the QR code right there on your screen and get that special offer. Ari Aganis, the head coach for Marshall. 6th season as the Thundering Herds head coach. See 2 Conference USA tournament appearances. Of course, Marshall's in Conference USA now in the Sun Belt, so that's why the series history is kind of skewed a bit. Okay, so we just got our stat update. Lulu Ambrose has 10 kills, so it is 7 straight matches with double-digit kills. Bella Hutchins has 11 kills to lead App State. 15-14, Sky High. ground. She thought she had a kill. Fantastic backline effort for the Mountaineers from Elise Marshall. Rising up, Bella Hutchins. Hutchins has 12 kills, and that gets his crowd roaring.
That's a play right there where it kind of gives you chills just with how hard they worked for that. And that end kill, just finding the seam in the block and attacking that just with so much ferocity. Such a great swing by Hutchins.
In fact, here's an update on some of these Sun Belt scores. And Georgia Southern leading Georgia State 2-0, so they're looking good there to get a win. South Alabama, Arkansas State still waiting for that one. Old Dominion, James Madison tied at a set apiece. Same thing with Louisiana and ULM, and then Southern Miss and Troy as well. So the other ones that matter, South Alabama, Arkansas State, App State, if they can win this match, they clinch the East. If they win and Georgia Southern loses, that doesn't look like the scenario to happen. Georgia Southern looks pretty good so far, but the big thing is win this one for App and you can clinch the East no matter what happens. It's just tomorrow we can especially talk about how the possibility to win another tomorrow, if you can sweep the weekend, you still got hopes to win the entire Sun Belt for App State, but they got to win tonight first. Marshall's upcoming schedule, not much left. Here tomorrow at 1 o'clock on ESPN+. Morgan and I will be back with you along with our crew. Then Southern Miss at home in Huntington, West Virginia next Friday and Saturday to close down their season. Haven't qualified for the postseason, so their 2024 almost up. You look at what is still to come for the Thundering Herd. Afternoon volleyball that we'll have for you on Saturday. 22-22, Marshall trying to fight back. They have to win the third set to avoid the sweep. Light touch by Elise Marshall, 23-22. Marshall, her 5th kill.
That was such a high IQ play right there. There was nobody over the block. I mean, you saw Fogo sprinting, trying to run and get that short tip if it wasn't touched by Taylor.
Up front, good defensive play for Leahy. Marshall will get it 23-all. Schoenhart. Lulu Ambrose, the kill. She has 11, and she's already made it 7 straight matches with double-digit kills, and here is match point. App State trying to win in straight sets for the 5th time this season. Serve from Ambrose. Got touched, Roper down to keep it going. Shifted over by Hutchins, who has a career high in kills going with 13. That is an attack error, and it wins the match, and App State sweeps Marshall in straight sets. For the 5th time this season, the Mountaineers only need 3 sets to get it done as they sweep the Thundering Herd from Huntington on this Friday night in Boone.
I mean, they had such a great offensive game today, App State. Hitting at such a high level and at such a high percentage. Really nice to see from them, really, really nice. And they'll be looking forward to playing them again tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, that's right, tomorrow. Happens quick turnaround, but there it is. Clinching the #1 seed in the East in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. There it is, everyone looks up, all the players look up to the scoreboard, and they see it right there on the screen. East Division champs in 2024 for the Mountaineers. Sarah Rumley Noble's team with a win tonight. They're 15th. That's one more than they got all of last season. 27-25, 25-8, 25-23. Mountaineers in straight sets. And now we go to senior day tomorrow, Morgan.
This is really meaningful to all the girls on the team, especially knowing that senior day is tomorrow. Really nice, and such a great testament to how hard they work this season.
There it is right there. East Division champs in the Sun Belt for App State, and now it will continue tomorrow. If App State can continue to win, they can win out. They've got a shot to still take the overall Sun Belt regular season crown. So everyone's going to get tapped up. Everyone's going to get high fives in that kind of week. Morgan too, I think you high-fived everybody on the team.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're back here tomorrow at 1 o'clock for Senior Day. This place is rowdy tonight, and Mountaineers are going to salute their home fans, one of the best crowds of the season. Hoping to see this same crowd here tomorrow night. Hoping that you can be back with us tomorrow at 1 o'clock as well. For everyone, Blake Roebuck, Zach Kellogg, that's Morgan Davis. I'm Corey Hodges. We'll say good night on this Friday night. App State wins in straight sets over Marshall. They are East Division champions in the Sun Belt. Back with you tomorrow at 1 o'clock here on ESPN+. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Bye for now.